record. So hopefully it's going to record okay onto my computer. But so good to see you guys. Feel free, if you can, drop the link, because of this computer not having access, I don't have access to the Discord, which is very annoying. So if anyone wants to drop the link into the Discord community chat, then feel free to do that. But otherwise, it's just us, which is really nice, actually. So let's get it cracking. What I wanted to do was log into the back office so we can do a little bit of Monara training at the same time. But the most important part for all of this really is to ensure that you guys are clued up with what you're doing and that you understand how to do the very basics, okay? So when it comes to what you know so far, just let me know in the chat box, what is it that you would like some direct support with? Because otherwise we can just carry on practicing with calculating pips, if you can hear me okay. But what I'm going to do, whilst that's still loading up, I'm going to just start. Let's zoom in here. Let's go onto the 5-minute time frame for this ADJPY position. I'm looking for some longer term trading positions that we can be jumping into. You guys know I love a swing trade, but we are going to just practice what we would do on shorter time frames, just because that's what we tend to do when we're trading on Monara. We love to trade on the 5-minute time frame, just because it gives us those faster entries and those faster points of exit. As we like to say, in and out with the bag, okay? So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to throw a little position on here just to give us an example, okay? And this actually isn't so bad. Look at that, 33 pips. And let's say we brought this up here. Say previously made some dollar, but then you lost because of consolidation. Okie dokie. Well, that's good. The first and most important part is that you were brave and you are taking steps to trade on your own. A lot of people just copy and paste, which is absolutely fine. We love that. But also, when you are able to start developing an understanding for yourself, that's where the real money comes in, okay? Because you're able to find your own opportunities and take advantage of the market for whenever you want. And that's what's really exciting. Let me get the participants chat. There we go. I like a bit of advice on entering. Whenever I enter a trade, it feels like clockwork that drawdown occurs instantly. Yes, it does. Drawdown automatically will occur instantly anyway because you have spread. So usually there's like a few pipette swap fees that always comes into play anyway. But that doesn't necessarily mean that, what I don't want you to do is feel like you're being targeted, like the market hates you. As soon as you start getting into that mindset, you've lost, because the market doesn't hate you. Money moves up and down, right? Wherever it's at in any position, it never holds. Sometimes you get lucky and trades just go instantly into blue. There are many times when I've had that, but there is always drawdown. 9 times out of 10, there is always going to be some drawdown. So I don't want you to be fearful of drawdown, and I don't want you to be resentful of drawdown. What we need to do is to start desensitizing us to colors. We get very happy when we see blue, and we get very frustrated or anxious when we see the red. I want you to start training your mindset into just thinking nothing of either of them. Does that make sense? It should be, okay, cool, what's next? When you've entered into a trade, it shouldn't even stay in your mind. It's, okay, what's the next opportunity? When's the next trade coming in? We have to turn ourselves into trading robots. Put it in the chat, I am a trading robot. Okay, because that's what's going to guarantee the growth of our traders' psychology, right? So we're looking at ADJPY 5-minute time frame. So let's say, for example, this is actually quite a wide stop loss. So what I'm going to do, let's say we're waiting. This is a Monara trade setup, okay? And we're waiting, price has come down this area, and then maybe perhaps we have got our entry point has been hit. Let's say our entry point has been hit. But what we're waiting for, of course, is the shift. Now, for some reason, my computer isn't loading up my EMAs. Okay, so let's pretend that the EMAs are there. we have them set to the 5 and the 13, the yellow and the red. And let's say we're waiting for that shift. And the shift, let's say, happens around this area, which means we go in for a buy because we want to get those instant blues. We want to minimize our drawdown. Usually when we enter on a shift, we have minimal drawdown, okay? So let's say we enter at a shift and this is our entry point. Now I'm looking for the best possible stop loss to give us our highest amount of risk, our lowest amount of risk, whilst giving us our highest amount of returns. So what am I going to do? I look to the left and we put our stop loss level at the previous low. And then we're going to add 2 pips onto that because that is our spread. That's around about what, 27, 28 pips. Okay, let me just close that out. Okay, so we know that we're going to be risking potentially 28 pips in order to then make, well, if we've got, let's say our TP, our final TP is up here, but you can take multiple closures along the way. But what I want to focus on is, actually, I probably shouldn't have told you how many pips it was. Let me just change it. Let's just pretend that that's the level. Okay, so we've got, ooh, that's too easy. Okay. Oh, that's a good one. Okay. So let's say we've set our stops. I think enter a bit too late where momentum's already passed. Right. Okay, cool. Sometimes that'll be a timing thing. So if you enter too late after the trade has already been said, or if, let's say, you're looking at Monara and let's say the trade's already halfway up to TP1, that is a little bit late because remember, we want to try and get as many returns as we can with as minimal risk. Whereas if we're entering late, we're actually increasing our risk, right? So we've got price currently set. Our stop loss is set is that at the 97.034. Okay, if you want to write this down. I think my computer's going to be a bit too slow to write on here. Let's see. Okay, so price is currently at, for our stop loss, the 97. Nope, I did not want that. Go away. Why are you moving so slow, please? There we go. 97.034. And our point of entry was actually at the 97323. How many pips are we risking with this potential trade? Remembering that the 4 is a pipette, so we don't include it, right? The 4 is a pipette. 97323. So how many pips away from 97.323 is 97034? That is wrong. 31. I see what you're doing there. We're going the other way. So technically we have to go from not 97 down. We're going from, yes. Correct. Jarrell has it correct. 27. And why is that? So we ignore the pipette on the end. And how far away is it? Because we're going into that, well, we're not going to the next boundary of 100. We're going up from 3 to 32. You can do 32 take away 3. Actually, no, you can't. How many pips away are we from 3 to 32? Okay. And that is 27. You add 7, you get to 10, then you add additional 20. And then that is, no, is that wrong? Hang on. Oh my God, 3, 7. No, that is wrong. 27 is wrong. Add 2 more. There we go, 29. You had me fooled for a second there. Okay, 29 pips. Nice, nice, nice. And then we look to the left, we look at previous resistance to potentially set our TPs. This is if you're not using what's been set on Monara, but 9 times out of 10, I like to use the TPs that have been set on Monara. Okay, let's go to another, Let's go to Euro USD. Let's look at Euro USD. It's so crazy how my EMAs just aren't showing up. It's really annoying. Okay, now this is pretty stagnant, but let's pretend that this most recent bearish momentum is our markup on the Monara scanner, okay? Let's say that price has hit entry and we've had the shift, okay? So you have clicked buy. And let's calculate without looking. So we look to the left without looking at how, how many pips that is, okay? And price is still pulling back on this bit, but price is currently, where we've set our stop loss is at the 1.07789. And our point of entry was at the 1.07852. So how many pips different is that? This is a much tighter stop loss, okay? We take away the pipette, much tighter stop loss. So really, we're just looking at the difference between 78 and 85. What do? We add 2, that's 80, and then we add 5. Perfect. So that's a 7 pip stop loss, which again is very, very tight. Those who aren't brave probably won't want to do that one, okay? Sometimes it's best to add on a few pips just for a little bit of trader psychology. So, but always making sure that you're then adopting the same potential outcome on the other side. So whatever you do, always make sure it's a 1 to 2. So if you're then going to pull your stop loss down to 10 pips, make sure that you try and aim then towards getting those higher highs. So you can always have a minimum 1 to 2. This is where I lose the trade because you don't watch the chart. That's not true. That's not true. You don't have to watch the chart. Okay. So many trades that come through, I just copy and paste. I don't look at the charts all the time. If I'm having my own personal trading session, then yes, I will watch the chart. If I'm working, doing admin, I'll have my trading view up on the side. Then technically I'm kind of watching the chart, but I don't really feel that it really benefits to watch the chart. I prefer to not look at the chart because you have better trader psychology when you're not anxiously watching, waiting. If you would prefer, set alerts. Yeah, don't get emotional, baby. This is yoga. This is our ballet class, right? And we want to do well, but also we have days where our pirouettes are crap, or we just have a week where we're just feeling really tight and unflexible. You know, that happens. That absolutely happens. And you have days where things are really seamless, it's going really swimmingly, and you've barely even tried, right? You want to be present for those days because people will have a bad trading week, but they didn't realize that they were going to have an epic trading month. But that's because they didn't take that one gold trade that hit 6 TPs on the 27th of August. Do you see what I mean? Being present is the most important part when it comes to trading or investing of any kind. Just be there, you know? You watch like a hawk and it still falls to a loss. So no worries. I'm trading the chart. Don't watch it like a hawk. You know, the more stress and pressure you put on yourself, the more painful it's going to be. And I keep saying, guys, trading should be easy. Trading should be fun. And you can still watch it like a hawk if you want to. But, you know, don't apply too much pressure to yourself. Okay. Trading is about statistics. Remember that. Okay. So yeah, I'm aware it's 10:02 and we have Jason's welcome call starting in like 10 minutes. So for anyone who actually has any guests that they've invited onto the call, just remember to share the invite link if you haven't done so already. But let's do a couple more. And if you have more trading questions, let's do it. Let's look at a couple more. I want to find another example where we're maybe selling. The market's pretty bearish right now. You know, when you set TP2, can you set them as limits? No, because a take profit level is a take profit level, not a sell or buy limit. You know, does that make sense? Am I interpreting your question right? Is that what you mean? Let me know if that's what you mean. Okay, here we go. So what do we have here? We have a beautiful bullish trajectory at the minute on the 5-minute time frame. We're expecting price to turn around because the Monara scanner has given us that bias. And now we just got to wait for the perfect entry. What do? We wait for the shift. We get the shift, the crossing of the EMAs, and then we set our point of entry. So let's pretend our shift happened around here. Oh, lovely, the 1.497. And let's say we're going to set our stop loss around here without looking, guys. No cheating. No cheating. Okay. So 1.497 up to the 1.49818. So we take away the last digit, the pipette, take away the 8, take away the 0. And what does that leave us with? It leaves us with 70 and 81. Nice and easy. So how many pips is our stop loss? Imagine if I threw this into the group chat and I said, I'm entering EuroCAD sell, entry 1.497, stop loss 1.49818. And then you want to go and quickly calculate your risk on Stinu. How many pips would you put in? 11. Awesome. Right, when it hits TP1, now you enter a new trade for TP2. I personally wouldn't do that. I don't do that. Okay, because oftentimes when you hit a TP1 area, what then happens? A retracement. There is a pullback, which means that you'll either, let's say if you did that. Okay, let's use this one as an example. Let's say you entered here, there was a shift here. What was that? Okay, let's call that 18. So you set a 20 pip stop. Okay. And price came up to TP1. And you thought, okay, cool. Now let's hit TP1. Let me set another one for TP2. But okay, in this scenario, yes, it would have hit TP2. Okay, how lovely. But also, what did it do? It had a pullback. Now, in this scenario, you would have actually been kept in. But if you had used this as your previous loss, as your previous stop loss, for example, and then it actually came down and touched that stop. Come on. God, this feels so clunky. There we go. And let's say it did that. You will have then risked more than you would have even made. Right? So it's nice to get lucky sometimes, but usually you're going to end up losing more than you win. And it's very easy to win trades and still blow a trading account. Trust me, daddy. It is possible to still profit and still blow a trading account because people start doing stuff like this or pulling trades early, right? Let's say it looks really, really good. Oh, stop it. Stop it. Computer, please play ball. Let's say Jarrell was in this opportunity and he got a bit scared because it hit this candle was really big and he was like, oh, that's amazing. I've made a bit of profit. Let me just pull out. But then the next trade that he did, or the next 2 trades that he did, hit stops when really he could have made profit all the way up here. And that would have meant that he would have still been in profit. Do you see what I mean? It's very easy to blow an account and feel like you're actually going backwards, even though you're still seeing blues. So just bear that in mind. Okay. Let's see. Let's do one more question because it's coming up to 8 o'clock. One more question. It's quite nice actually that there's only 3 of us on here. This is good. I feel like I can give a bit more like a bit more hand holding. Ignore. I think I just need a new laptop. I think that's what it is. Question, go for it. Okay, so for TP2, just change your take profit when hit by modifying. No. So, hang on. Let me just try and do this. So when you have a trade like this, for example, and you've set multiple TPs, what you want to do is open three different, for example, if we're doing three different positions, right? So you wouldn't then modify the one trade. If you only got one trade open, you have one trade open, okay? But what you want to do is have multiple trades open so that one hits TP1, another one hits TP2, and another one hits TP3. Once it does hit TP1, for example, you can move your stop loss. Please modify your stop loss. Do you ever see me saying, move stops to break even, right? Break even is a little tiny bit above your entry. So that means we're protecting the bag. And either way, even if it does come down and stop you out, okay, that's fine. But it means you'll be a 1 or 2 pips or pennies in profit, right? Every little helps, but it's always handy to move your stops up to break even. So if, for example, you did only set one trade, so let's pretend that Mimi opened only one position, but she was able to use a 0.06 lot size because she managed her risk really well, okay? So she's got one trade of 0.06. What that actually means is when it hits TP1, she can hold the close button and partially close the trade. So she can actually take out 0.02 of the trade, which means that she's then got 0.04 still left in the game. Right? And then when it comes up to another level, maybe she's got an alert set and she gets a text from TradingView saying that it's hit her level, she can then go back and partially close some more, which means that she's still got 0.02 in the game. And then another one, she's got 0.01 in the game. So there are many, many ways that you can maximize on your profits, whether that's taking multiple positions, opening with lot sizes and then partially closing and then trailing your stop loss. That's all stuff that you're going to be able to do as you become more advanced and as you start practicing more with your own trades. Feel free to take trades in your live account, but I will always say practice on demo as much as you can along the way. And whether that's, for just 15 minutes first thing in the morning before you get out of bed, like that's your wake up time to some lo-fi music while you have a coffee, whatever is your way of learning and having your own trading time, have a practice with that because it will turn you into a much better, much more sophisticated trader. Especially when you start having bigger numbers in your accounts, guys, this all gets very, very simple. Okay. Once you've got minimum £1,000 in there, trading, it really does it by itself. And also when you have more in there, you'll care a bit less because we're not so desperate for £2, £5. Once you've got 1,000 in there, your trader psychology does get better because you're much more comfortable just letting it run because you've just got a bit more in the bag. Okay, does that make sense? It's coming up to 8 o'clock. Just put an 888 in the chat if this tiny little session, despite it being really clunky with my computer, if it's been helpful. That's the thing. I just always want to make sure that everyone feels like they are understanding, like they're not being left behind. And sometimes it just takes, we can do so many of these Forex calls, and sometimes it just takes a click moment for you to be like, oh my God, this makes so much sense. Oh my God, why didn't I get that before? Your meeting will end in 10 minutes. Okay, guys, so good to see you. Just pop a little message into the WhatsApp just to let the people know that you jumped on and that you found the session helpful. It will mean the world to me. And I'll see you guys later, okay? Have a great evening. So much love. Bye, bye, bye. Bye, guys.